Yo, oh my god. Look at your
Hello. Oh, I am giant in that.
That's because there's usually like 3 people. So when there's only one person, it makes it like scales.
It's fair. Where's yours? Why isn't yours on my screen? Oh, hold on.
I know.
It is the it's the one that you sent me earlier.
Oh, it should work.
Fujitech.
Fujitech. That was the one with just me, so I don't know. Maybe it is the wrong link.
Hold on. Let me just. You're on my Fujitech side of things. Why are you not there?
You know what? I don't know because all of my shit's broken today.
Can we update that? Are you now there? Yeah. Okay. We've got it on screen now.
Hey! All right. I gotta. Where's my thing?
Hey, Mama Pig. What's up? So how you doing, Chi? You right?
Not bad. I'm
Do you prefer Chi or Fett? I should have asked.
Chi.
Chi. Cool.
Yeah. They call me Mr. Fett. Wait, no, that's not right.
Can you hear Chi now?
Can you hear me now?
They should be able to. Nope. Ah, okay. Well, man, don't you just love tech issues? That's so fun.
Oh, Stream Elements broke today, so half of my stuff's not working. All right, let's make you. There we go. It's more normal size. Meow. Perfect.
Is that there it is? I'm just fixing my Discord audio because apparently nobody can hear you.
Oh, all good. Then we'll mess around with the shared chat.
Fixed it. Yeah, I was gonna say, do you know how to do the shared chat thing? Because I have no idea.
I do.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna knock.
I just hit accept, right?
Yeah. And then
dope.
It should be like another window open.
Got it. Yeah, we're good.
You can just have to minimize it. And
sweet.
So then somewhere start sharing chat. There we go.
There we go. Cool. Easy. I'm glad you could do all that because I have no idea. That's how often I collab with people.
I mean, it's still a relatively new feature too, so not everybody has used it probably yet.
I've used it like 2 or 3 times. I've just never paid attention to when people are like setting it up. I'm busy like on my phone and they're like, did you get all that? And I'm like, get all what?
Yeah, usually my friend Red does it for me because I usually break things.
Yeah, vibes. I just do as I'm told for the most part. Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Same. Have you played any of Backseat Driver?
I haven't. I turned it on just to set up my sound, and that's all I've done so far.
And that's it? Yeah, same. Yeah. That's literally all I've done. Okay, I do have one question. Can you drive in real life?
Yes.
Okay, I can't. So this is going to be interesting.
Oh, I think you should drive then.
You want me to drive? Okay, I can start driving.
I think you should be Granny.
Because I wasn't sure how we were going to pick who's going to start driving anyway, but we can just do it that way. It makes life easy.
Yeah. That'll make it more interesting.
Okay. I'm just filling with my lights for a second.
Although, I can drive in real life. Driving in games is very different.
It's very different, yeah. I spend more of my time in a tree.
Oh no! Not the
I
trees.
Like the trees. So, just because my chat obviously have like no idea who you are, what sort of do you want to like introduce yourself and tell us what you like normally play?
Oh, sure. Hi, I'm ChiiFett or Chi, and I'm a cyberpunk bunny girl VTuber, and I mostly play city builder games and sloppy party games with friends.
Chat, can you see why I like Chi? Because city builder games are my jam.
Oh,
I don't play them on stream, but I fucking they were like so I call city builder games are my depression games But like down when I'm sad,
Yeah.
I slap on a city builder and I just build a city for like I have like 20 different saves of city skylines because I always start again. Because I always fuck up the roads eventually, but I always start again and then build like a brand new city. And by the time I'm finished making like my 8th city, I'm not depressed anymore and we can go back to life.
Oh my gosh.
And that's why I love city builder games. And I play all of them because they're always so much fun.
That's how I used to be with The Sims. I used to play a lot of The Sims because it was my like comfort game. But I don't really play
Comfort
Sims
game is
often.
probably a better way of phrasing it than depression game. Now I think about it.
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Sims. Have you tried Paralives?
I have, yeah. My friend actually was kind enough to buy it for me so I could try it out. And I got frustrated with the build mode and I haven't played it since.
Fair vibes. I've heard great things. Haven't played it myself. I owned it for like 10 days, never booted it, and I was like, I'm just gonna refund this.
Yeah, that's fair. It's I like the art style. It's definitely gonna give The Sims and EA a run for its money. So
I hope it does. I didn't realize if you wanted to buy all of the Sims DLC, you would have to spend $1.5 grand.
Isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
I'm not gonna say how I have almost all of it then.
But I get it. I get it. I mean, I've got like I got more money than I want to admit invested into Star Citizen.
Yeah, it's just one of the things where like you buy it as it comes out and it doesn't seem like that much. But if you
when you buy it like piecemeal.
Yeah, but if you wanted to catch up, boy, is it a big wallet emptier.
But I really want to be a mermaid while playing Star Wars.
That's right.
It's like all the different combinations. It's crazy. Right, shall we jump in?
All right.
There's a story mode or a carpool mode. I'm kind of vibing story mode.
Oh, okay.
And then I will fire you an invite once I find you. We definitely added each other, didn't we?
I think so. Wait, did we?
Yeah, Chisel PNG Tube is awesome.
Thank you. The artist that did it, they were doing very inexpensive commissions, and I was shocked at the price. And I was lucky that I happened to jump on it as one of the first people when they started offering them. So
nice.
Yeah, it was only $20.
It's only $20.
Yeah, $20 from
That's
the artist.
crazy.
Yep, and then for $30, they'll also do like a muted one of like, my mask. Like they'd use like your mascot as like the muted image, which is really cute.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So how long have you had because you've just changed your VTuber model, right?
I'm getting ready to. I'm waiting for the art to get done.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So it's actually another like they have like these customizable pre-mades that you can purchase. Because getting your own model done is like thousands. of dollars.
Yeah.
So there was a new model that was released by a model maker that I really love, and I was excited that they released a pre-made customizable. So I bought their model, which was way more affordable, and then a lot of the model makers will allow other artists to do commissions to customize the textures to match your design. So I'm waiting on the retexture artist right now to do that, and then I'll do a big debut probably July or August, I think.
That's sick.
Yeah.
How long has it taken in total to have everything done?
I started paying for stuff in February, I think. It's been a while.
Okay, that's not too bad then. Yeah.
Yeah. There's not a lot of people that do the retexture commissions, so she had a big queue of people. So I just had to patiently wait my turn. But I spent almost my entire tax return on my re-debut coming up. So
holy shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was a lot.
I can find you on my Steam list. I can't find you actually in the game list.
Oh, maybe it's because I don't have it on. Let me try it. Let me start the game. That would probably help. Oh my god, it's big on this one too. What the heck? Schmoss.
Yeah, I must admit, I've always kind of admired the artwork and stuff behind VTubing. I never done, obviously gone with it myself, and that little PNG tuber I think cost me like, I think a friend did it for me for free, and then I just photoshopped the little mouth in.
That's cute. I like it.
I think it definitely sums me up pretty well.
All right.
Okay, I have you there. I can join your game. There we go.
All right, that
Problem
works.
solved. Well, I say I can join your game. I pressed the button.
Oh, wait, did it? I didn't get a thing.
Let me try that again.
Here, let me just invite you. Maybe.
I got no
up.
invite. Ah,
there we go.
Join.
Hey.
Awesome. I did turn the in-game VoIP off though.
Oh, wait, is mine on? Wait.
What is that? Oh, she's in like a balaclava. I get you.
Doug. Okay, I think if you do the middle button, it'll change you to the granny.
Yeah, it does. So while driver and the granny.
Ah. Wait, do we
And
take
then while
turns?
passenger.
I wonder how it works.
I think we do take turns. I'm not quite sure. Oh, I'm definitely the dog when we are putting on a passenger. 100% a dog.
I'm gonna be this emo kid. Yeah, the emo kid. Oh, there's also a grandpa.
I think I turned my push to talk on. I don't know if it's off by default.
I don't know. I can't find it in the audio. Oh, input. Oh. Oh no, that's the buttons.
If you go to gameplay, right at the bottom 3 options, there's push to talk.
Oh. There we go.
There we go.
Sorry.
You alright? Cool, I'm ready.
Why does he look like a burglar? Alright, I'll be like that.
Yeah, I don't get why he looks like a burglar.
Alright. Story? Oh, we can customize the car? Oh, wait. Flames! Can you see me changing the car?
The car isn't changing on my side.
Oh, man.
I think maybe if you accept it, maybe it might lock in.
Alright. Alright.
Oh.
Grandma's house.
Oh.
Running late again.
Shit, did I skip it by accident? Clicked and it did something. I didn't mean to.
Instead of rushing us out the door, Grandma and Grandpa had us all crowded around the TV to catch some cheap-looking commercial they'd heard about at Bingo Hall.
Hey, the cutscene looks like a comic
book. The sweaty local car salesman was blowing their minds with his latest.
Well.
Oh.
I can't see shit.
It's dark.
I do have a parking ticket though.
Oh. I have a sticky note with directions.
Wait. Left, right, mouse button, attack, interact, detach, E go, Q brake, AD lean. Can I? Oh.
Oh, I can switch seats.
Shit.
Oh! What was that? Fire!
Ice. Oh, it's freezing the entire car.
Oh. That's cute.
Okay.
Oh, is it like the the AC controls?
It's the AC, yeah.
That's funny.
Okay, right. Can I put that? Ah, there's the headlights. What's that other button do?
Oh.
Oh, windscreen wipers. Alright, cool.
Oh.
Wait a second. Oh, if you click the car keys, we switch.
Oh, I can't see. What the fuck? How am I supposed to see?
If you press D, you'll lean around the steering wheel.
Oh wait, my controls are different. Oh, we're moving.
Oh, okay. I think you have the arcade controls.
Oh, I do. Q is lean. Can't see over the dashboard. Wait, this is crazy.
Oh. Watch out. Left. No. Stop. Oh.
Oh.
Left. Kinda.
Stop.
You've got a barrel stuck on the hood.
Oh, that's alright.
I can't see either now.
Sometimes you just need a barrel, you know? A barrel of laughs.
Wait. Stop. Oh.
Stopping.
Okay, you need to go like left. Like 45 degrees. Keep going. Yeah. Okay, go straight ahead. And then turn left again. Quick turn right. Right.
Oh no. Wait, how do I reverse?
And now it's turned into granny upskirt.
What?
I'm stuck. I'm underneath you.
Oh. What?
I think I'm dead.
Oh no, dead dog! Oh. Alright, what if we...
Okay. Wait, how do I brake? Do I need to put it in reverse? Oh, nope.
Oh, we could do this. Oh.
Okay. Put it back in a... Oh, and then I have to... No! I have to use my mouse to turn the steering wheel.
Oh no,
Okay.
you might want to change the you might want to change the controls.
We got this. Oh, no. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to change the controls real quick.
Yeah.
Arcade mode.
That would be so
Okay. Apply. Okay, that's better. Nope. I'm still in reverse.
confusing. I don't know how
Let
to
me just
change...
fix that real quick.
Yeah, that I don't know how to do.
I had to press the gear stick. Okay. Are we straight ahead? Stop.
Yeah. Oh! We're gonna turn right. More.
Yeah.
Okay, straight.
Yeah.
You can kind of see the arrows a little bit. Wait, hold on. I forgot how to...
I've stalled it.
Oh.
Wait, why did we switch?
Oh, did you click the keys?
I think I clicked the keys again, yeah. But they were flashing at me.
Oh, maybe it makes you switch.
Oh, maybe it does, yeah.
That's interesting.
Have my coin ready. I have a coin ready. Oh, do I have to... No.
Oh.
Back it up.
Wait, wait, is that this?
I think I have to... I think I have to open the window.
Well. Wait, how do I go in reverse? Oh, there we go.
It shoots. Okay, now I have to... Wait, where's the key? There it is. Okay, a little bit forward. A little bit forward. Stop. Huh. Fuck.
No.
Let me try it again. Fuck. Where's the other coin? Okay. Well, there goes all our change.
Oh, shit. Well, you know what that means.
Oh, no. There it is. Got it.
Oh, okay.
I think we need to go further to the right.
Alright.
The fuck is that? Oh.
Oh.
Nope, that's straightforward.
Okay, well. Alright. Backing up. Meow.
Oh. Forward again. There's like
gotta
a
shift
coin thing.
Have your coin ready.
Yeah. Did that go in? Yes. No. I don't think it did. Oh, are we just not close enough? Hold on. Wait, what the fuck is that? Oh, well, that's not what I'm looking for. Nope. We seem to be out of... Wait.
Oh, that's better. I know he's just driving me crazy.
Yeah. Remember to bring some change if you choose Neil for the next set of wheels. He will lock you in his lot. If you try to leave without paying, expect the invoice. All right, cool. Oh, there's a coin underneath your pedals.
Oh. Got it.
I need the coin.
Wait, how do I give it to you? I just throw it back there?
Just throw it back here, I guess. Okay, cool. Okay. Huh.
Nice.
There we go. Now we can go. You need to go right. Yeah, that'll do. Over speed? No.
Oh,
Okay, well.
Oh. What? Oh.
Slow forward.
Slow.
That's
Am I going
backwards. That's backwards. That's backwards.
How is it going backward? Okay.
Okay, slow. Now you need to go right.
This is the worst. I can't see shit.
I can't see. Yeah, and then right.
Oh, more right. All right. Hold on. Backing up. Maybe. Oh.
Nope.
All right. Backing up again.
No.
Oh, the windshield wiper. Oh no, dog.
I died again.
Oh no. Okay.
Okay. Where do I go?
I don't know. I forgot how to see.
Eyes. Look. Open.
Q and E. Wait. Yeah. No.
Q and E to lean, yeah, and then W to to like look
Oh,
up.
there we go. I'm not sure where we're going. I guess
to the right, I think.
I think the arrow is pointing left, so I think we need to go left. I'm not sure. Oh no, that's the big speed bump.
Pretty certain do I go forward?
Oh,
nope. I hit something.
Little to the left more, you hit a car. Wait, are they gonna charge us for these cars?
Oh, wait a second. I think I have to switch now. Yeah, I had to switch. The car wouldn't work.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Back it up. It's every time you crash. Okay. Hey, Panda, what's up?
Oh.
Okay. Now we go forward, but just a little bit to the left.
Okay. Forward.
Yeah. A little bit to the right, a little bit to the right, a little bit to the right, lot to the right, lot to the left. Forward, I think. A little bit to the right.
This car turns like a bus.
Are we supposed to go through these doors?
I'm not sure.
Okay, back it up a bit. Okay, and then full speed, forward right. That'll do it.
Oh.
I got killed again.
Oh no.
I'm currently, there should be a dog in your lap.
There is. You're in the way to pedals, bro. I can't.
Why do you always go under Granny's ass? Because I'm not wearing my seatbelt. Okay, which way am I going?
Alright. Oh, I pushed the wrong button. Wait. What was it again to see over? W. That's right. Okay, we need to go right. Hard right.
So, hard right?
Yeah, and then left. Left.
Okay. I don't seem to be moving.
Yeah, you're running into a car. You gotta back up a little.
Okay.
There you go. Now left.
Like forward and left, or just left?
Like, yeah, like left.
Left, okay.
Yeah. Oh, more left.
Oh!
Yes. Oh!
Oh my god!
That's fine, we already hit that. Left, 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 left. Oh. More left again.
More
Oh.
left. Oh, I see it, I see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
I think we're gonna drive straight through this other window actually up here.
Okay.
Yep, straight. Yeah, left. Oh! Nice! Good stop!
Okay.
Right.
Like that?
Yep, and now we're in a straight and there's a speed bump up ahead.
Okay.
There's a speed bump.
Oh, my steering wheel fell off. Hold on, let me just put that back real quick. There we go.
Alright. We need to back up and go right. Yep. There you go. Perfect.
Okay. Oh!
That damn tape!
Which way am I going?
Go straight but to the right a little.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why is
wait.
the car turning left? Oh, I'm in reverse. Hold on. Wait a second.
Flailing arm inflatable tube man.
Okay.
Alright. Right a little. Oh, we gotta do another coin thing over there, I think.
Okay.
So back up.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it.
Yeah. Actually, it looks like a ticket thing. What is that?
There should be a parking ticket on the floor somewhere, maybe?
What is this? Not that.
Oh, I've got a coin underneath my chair.
It looks like a slot for a ticket or something.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either. Maybe back up a little because I can't like interact with the thing at all. Will it tell me? If I can click
Yeah.
it? Oh, I threw the coin out the window by accident. Oops.
Can we? Hold on. No, wrong way. Fuck.
I know the reverse fucks you up, but it fucks me up. I know it's wrong. It ain't got no gas in it.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Parking ticket. Ah.
Ah. Wait.
Oh,
Wait, where'd it go? Oh, there it is.
where'd it go? You got it?
No, I can't pick it up. I can't turn around that far. My character won't turn any further to get it.
Can you move? What if you move along one of the seats?
Oh yeah, how do I do that again? Oh, there we go.
Hey, she got it in her mouth.
Wait, how do I do that? Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh. Back up a smidge.
Yeah.
Just a smidgy bit. Yeah. Can I?
What?
That didn't work. Okay. Okay, that didn't
I'm
work.
so sick of this song. Oh. Is there any more tapes back there?
Yeah. Blah. Oh. Wait.
Yeah. No, I can't reach it.
Oh no! Okay. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, back up a little bit more.
Better.
The window frame's still kind of in the way.
Okay.
Alright, can I...
We good?
Oh.
It's hit.
I threw it out the window.
Yeah, it's next to you. I just threw it over to you.
Okay. How do I don't understand how I get in there. Okay, it's not working.
Oh, shit. Well, now I've gone too far.
I don't have a ticket anymore.
I
Is there
don't
nothing
see a
up
ticket either.
there? Stupid book.
Where the fuck?
Another
What if I wait? Is the barrier open? Did you put a ticket in, or do we just lose the ticket?
I think so. Oh, I keep pushing the wrong button. It's not open. I think I just kept throwing it and it kept missing.
Yeah, if I just keep braking, accelerating, and reversing, stuff slides around. Oh, there's a coin here. Can I open the glove box? Oh, there's fuck all in that though. Oh, might be under one of the seats or something.
There it is. It's in the front passenger floor. Can I? Oh, I can't reach it from here. Maybe,
If I...
Yeah. Make it go under the seat.
And then back again. Is that helping?
I think so, but I can't see it yet.
Oh, got it. Got it.
Nice. Perfect. Okay. Now we gotta back.
Oh, okay, we got back up now. I think it's backed into it.
That's alright.
Bill. A little bit like that.
Oh.
I just backed up into it again, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, turn the wheel a little more. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, let's get really
Slowly,
close.
but shh.
Okay, yeah. Right there. Okay. Oh, too far.
Oh, fuck's sake. Back it up. There we go.
A little more.
A little bit more.
Little more. Okay. Alright, let's see if I can. Damn it. It doesn't go in.
If you press W, you should like stand up a little bit, maybe.
Oh. Okay.
Does that help?
Maybe a little, yeah. Let's see. Did it go in?
Fuck. Right, it's right next to you. Hold on, let me back up again.
Yeah, I wonder if I need to be closer. All I can do is like throw it. It doesn't let me really do anything else. Oh! Too far.
Ah, fuck.
There you go. Ooh. There we go. It lit up. Okay. It lit up that I could interact with it, so that's what... We just weren't close enough. Alright, we're gonna...
Where am I going?
Trying to see. I guess go out and turn right. Let's go a little straight.
Okay.
And now we're gonna turn right. Oh, mission complete! Let's go! We got a C!
We got a C for crap. Average speed, 1.
Hi, Synth. Welcome in. That wasn't so
Hell
bad.
yeah. We got a thing to boot on a stick, or is it a cane?
Yeah, I don't... Select? I don't know what to... Sure. Next.
Why is she speaking Spanish?
I'm not sure.
I don't know if it is Spanish.
It's probably video game gibberish.
Probably. Okay.
One player driving another calls the directions. Yes. That's exactly right. Okay. Looks like we go straight.
Straight we are.
And left. Oh, wait. Oh, left, right. It's a jog. Go right now.
Go right.
Yeah. And then left. Yeah.
Like that?
Yep, and now straight.
Cool.
And, oh. And stop. And floor it.
Floor it.
Oh! We didn't make it in time! Well...
Who is that random corpse?
We ran over someone in the crosswalk!
Well, shit.
Oh, I can't see. It's so bright.
I can't see a fucking thing. Hold on, there's a light in the middle of the... How do we turn the light off in the middle of the car?
There we go.
Nice.
Alright.
Hey, Chairs, have I heard of Lincoln Hope? Vaguely, yeah. Let me know when to go.
Alright. Okay, go! Floor it! Oh!
Oh, shit, I'm going backwards!
Wait, my chat's broken. Here we go. Oh.
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 You okay?
Good. We're good. We're good.
Okay,
There's
we're
a
good.
Tree. Yeah, turn your wheel.
There was a tree. Hold on, wait, here we go. Here we go. In reverse. I seem to be stuck. Oh. Okay. That
It
into
says
gear.
go
Are we
now
going
under.
left?
Okay, that's right. Yep, to the left. It's straight. Oh. Just kidding. There's
I
a
feel
pole
like
there. There's just a little to the right. There you go. Yeah, there's a bit of a median.
Okay.
Okay, stop.
Oh,
Okay.
I have to switch.
Oh,
I think.
alright.
The keys are flashing.
Oh, okay. I think we have to jog right a little.
Yeah. Well. All right. I'll let you know. Wait. Hold it. You ready to turn to right? Go now. Go. Left. Nearest, damn it. That'll do. Okay, we're across. We're across. Not backwards.
Wait, why is
Not
it
backwards.
going
Not backwards. Oh no!
Why did it go in reverse? It does it on its own, I swear. Oh. Wait.
You've lost your gear stick.
I lost my shifter. There we go. There we go. Alright. Okay. What is the scenario now?
I'll have to have a look, Ches. So there's cars that keep zooming past. So wait for it. Straight forward. Go now.
Oh.
Well, fuck.
Okay. We got this.
We can do this. If you look up, you should be able to see like traffic lights.
Yeah.
So when they go red. Now.
Oh. Oh,
that's
in
backwards.
reverse again. Damn it. Damn you, car.
Wait for it. Go now. Okay. Slowly left. So forward and left. Yep, straighten up.
Oh. 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 I lost my
Well, I
steering
seem to
wheel.
have found myself in the footwell.
Well, There.
Oh,
I
you can put me
pick
back.
you up.
Oh, I
I
like
can pick you up. Nice.
Whee.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, forward and right. Keep going right. Okay.
Oh.
Back it up. Just a smidge.
Back
Just a
in
smidgen. Okay. Now you want to go forward with it just a touch to the left. Yeah, and then straighten up. A little bit to the right. Okay. What the fuck?
Oh. Somebody's swearing
I
at
have
me.
a tape in my mouth.
Oh!
Thank you.
There we go.
What the fuck? Please stop throwing. Wait, what are we supposed to do here? There's two
Did you
buttons.
see the billboard on the left? Injured at work?
Wait.
Good. That's hilarious.
What was it? Famine conquers.
Famine,
Health?
conquest, death, and war. Attorneys at law. That's
I think we have to pick one of the two buttons: wealth or health.
Wait, where's buttons?
It's to our right. So
Oh,
you're gonna want to
Oh.
back up a little bit, just a smidge,
Okay.
and then you're gonna turn like forward and right. Okay. Forward. You're gonna go like forward and right. Yeah, that'll do it. Now back up. Just try and keep it straight and back up. Keep going a little bit more.
Wait.
I seem to be stuck on something.
Okay.
Okay, forward and left.
Oh,
Whoa,
I've forwarded too much. We've hit a tree.
Okay, back up a little bit. Just okay. We've hit all of the trees.
My bad.
Who cares? They don't need this park anyway.
Yeah, deforestation. Let's go.
Okay, forward and left.
Oh, I seem to still be stuck.
And back. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do it. Okay, forward and left. Oh, wait. Yeah, forward or just a smidge to the left.
Yeah, I've always wanted to be an arborist.
Slowly. Stop. Okay, back it up.
Backing up.
Stop. Forward a little bit.
No.
Just a smidge. Okay, stop. Right, how the fuck can I press these buttons? Can I hit them with a coin? Can you pass me a coin from the front seat? Oh, go on.
Going?
Can I like, huh? Nope. Okay, I think this actually has, I don't think they're buttons. I think it's a puzzle.
Oh.
Anyway. Full speed ahead.
Okay.
With a little bit to the left. There's something sparkly over here.
Oh, sparkly. Oh.
Yeah, it's his loot bag. Oh, I see. Okay, I need you to... Okay, forward, but like a little bit to the left as you go forward.
Oh.
Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, now back it up. Just a little bit.
Okay. Back it up.
And then forward and left again.
Oh.
Okay, back it up.
Okay. More left.
And then forward and left again.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, that was straightforward.
Well, okay. Get back in there. Get back there. Get back there. There you go.
Awesome. Okay, back it up a little bit.
Oh, wait. It's not letting me. Wait, back up. Oh, the steering...
Oh, it's because your pedals come off.
The pedal came off.
It could be because there's a pole in our... Oh, never mind. Oh, okay,
Let's take
cool.
that pull out. We don't need that pull.
Right, let me just... I'm gonna need a handle on life. Okay, let me just
Right.
unwind my window. Cool, back it up a little bit. It's gonna become a motto of mine. Back it up a little bit. A little bit more. Ooh, forward.
Oh, I see.
Only a smidge. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. There we go. Okay.
Money.
We've got his loot bag.
Let's
So,
go.
back it up and then go left. We're going back to that.
Okay.
Okay, now we need to go left, like hard left. Okay. Back
What
it
a
up.
noise. Oh! That was something big we knocked over. Oh!
Oh, yeah, we may have knocked over something quite large. Okay.
Up radio. I hate you.
And then forward and left. Yep. Stop. Now, forward and right. Keep going. Stop. A little bit more.
Oh.
Ooh, a little bit back.
Back?
A little bit back, yeah. Just a little bit. Ooh. A little bit forward.
Sorry.
I got it. There we go.
Hey.
He's doing something.
Oh.
All right then. Forward and right. I don't think it has wheel support. No. Straight forward.
Oh.
Okay. Oh.
Oh no, he made a sad puppy sound. I don't like that. Oh. There you go. Okay.
Okay. Back it up a little bit. Forward and right. Forward and left. Ooh, stop.
Stop. Oh, the trees.
Okay, so I'm gonna need you to back it up a little bit. Stop. And then we need to go. You need like hard left, like Viagra left. That's how hard left we need it right now. Okay, back it up. Back it up a little more. Okay, stop. And then forward with just a little bit of left. A little bit more left.
Oh, a little bit more. Okay,
Some left, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I can kinda
Back it up a little bit. Yeah, cool. And then forward a little bit with some left. And then some right. And some right. And full speed ahead. No, too much right. You just hit a trolley. Oh, you just hit a cop.
Oh, no! Oh. Get back there, puppy.
Okay. Go back a little bit.
Okay, back.
Back. Okay. Stop. Hard left. Straighten her up. Yeah, now just a little bit to the right, but full speed ahead, pretty much.
Oh. Oh.
That's the rough stuff. Keep going.
Whee! Oh.
Just fucking gun it, Granny. Just fucking gun it. Fuck it. Just gun it. Just gun it.
The engine broke down.
Oh.
Time to switch, I guess.
Watched 2 horror movies last night, Undertone and Exit 8. How were both of them? Because they're both films I want to watch. Oh.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, stop.
Yeah.
Okay, gun it. Don't stop. Okay, stop. Stop!
Oh.
Oh my. Okay.
Kind of panicked.
That's alright. Alright. Stop. Oh.
No.
What? We weren't even that close! Silly game.
Well.
Okay, stop. We're gonna wait for the next sequence.
Okay.
Okay, go. Go.
I'm going.
Okay, stop. Oh, actually, no, you don't have to. Okay, stop.
Oh, well.
Oh no! I'm outside!
The outside?
I'm outside the car.
How are you outside the car?
I think I went through the windshield. Wait, there's no way for me to, like, reset myself. Oh, there we go. Here I am.
Well, I can't find my... I don't know where the gear stick's gone.
Here it is.
Have you got it there?
I threw it at you. It's in the front.
Oh, there it is. It's in the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not sure which way to go.
Is it for the drive-thru on the right?
Oh yeah, to the right. Yeah. We're gonna go right and then left. Oh. Go a little straight and left.
Yeah.
And now right. Oh, not okay, now right. And now left. There you go. Straighten out a little bit.
Okay.
Go straight.
Yeah.
And now go left.
Yeah.
Oh.
Am I going forward, backwards?
Back. You gotta back up a little, and then we're gonna keep going to the left a bit. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Left. Straight. There's something up here we gotta interact with. Oh, okay. Okay, so, I gotta scooch over.
Hey, look, it's chat.
Wait, how do I...
Put the fries in the bag, chat. Put the fries in the bag.
Okay, the window's down. Okay, back up a little bit. Just a smidge.
I'll look forward to watching it in Mambo Pig. I watched Ready or Not 2 and it kind of sucked. Back up, what? Just straight back up, yeah?
Yeah, just a smidge, not too much. A little more, a little more, a little more, a little more. Okay. Oh. Wait. I have to call it out. Okay. All right, chat. What do you want? You want some chicken and a drink and a burger? No burger. Nope. Fries.
No burger.
Fries. Chicken. Drink. No.
Nope.
Fries. Chicken. Burger. No. We can only get a couple things. Wait, is there like a sequence I have to do this in?
I have no idea.
Every time I get to a third thing, he's like, no. Oh,
I was just saying that I watched Ready or Not 2 Mambo Pig and it was kind of shit.
Wait, Mambo Pig like South Park?
Mega Mambo Pig loves South Park.
Ah.
To be fair, we're all pretty big South Park fans.
Love South Park.
But he's a huge. Are you a horror film fan?
Not really. My boyfriend likes a lot of horror stuff though.
Fair.
He always makes me watch them with him.
I love horror stuff. Like I love horror films and shit. I remember asking if you were into horror games. I love goofy horror games. Is there like a code or something we have to put in?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm not sure if there's like a certain order I have to order things. I don't see anything giving me any clues or anything though.
Can't see anything from the driver's seat.
So it's chicken, drink, burger, and fries. Burger? No. Fries, chicken, drink? No. Burger, fries, drink? Oh! Forward!
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
It was burger, fries, drink. Oh. Hey, here. Okay, go for it a little bit more. And stop! Oh, perfect.
Hey.
Assuming he's gonna
2
want
coins on the steering wheel?
2 coins in a steering wheel?
First one's great, Mamba, but the second one is not.
Wait, I don't know if he's actually taking it. Are you taking it, guy? What are you doing? Can you stand up?
I recommend, there's a film called They're Going to Kill You that I recommend. It's not really a horror film, though. Do you need me to pull closer?
I don't know. Maybe? Maybe...
Okay.
Back up a little bit and pull a little closer. Oh. Yeah. A little more. A little more. That's good. That's good. Huh. Okay, that one counted. And another coin and a steering wheel.
Here's a coin. Throw coins at minimum wage worker. Yeah, I'm currently working a minimum wage job and it sucks. Okay. Do you really need the steering wheel? What the fuck is the steering wheel?
What's a steering wheel? There you go, bro.
You got it?
Oh. Order up! Oh! Oh! What's happening?
I can't see.
Alright, full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead.
Wait, there's a car stop! Oh no! There's tape in my mouth. Oh, we need to turn right.
Did we make it?
We need to back up and
okay,
turn
hold
right.
on.
Yeah.
Let me just find...
Anything?
Oh wait, if you click, you can eat.
Oh. There's tape in my mouth, though.
Oh, you have a tape in your mouth.
Help.
Can you move over a seat to the right?
Nope. Wait. Yes. There we go.
And then look at me. There you go.
Nom 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 nom. Oh.
Okay.
Pizza.
Oh, steering wheel.
Oh. There you go. Perfect.
Steering wheel.
All right. We're gonna. Yep. That's good. And now turn right. And you go a little bit forward and then turn left. Whoops. I keep pushing.
Car stalled. I think we need to switch.
Okay.
I think it forces you to switch like every now and again to
Probably like every time we probably every time we like complete a task or something.
complete your task or a checkpoint, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have the. Do you have the shifter back there by chance?
Oh yeah, there is. Got it. Here you go.
Excellent. All right.
Okay, back it up a little bit, then you want to go forward and left a little bit. Okay.
Not enough.
Is backseating allowed in this game? Ooh, wait. Yep, back and then forward again. Okay, when right, just slow, because it's a really tight left-hand corner here.
Oh. Can you go to the ATM?
Like uncomfortably tight. Okay, left. Like hard left, Kate. You're getting to back up a little bit.
Okay.
And then hard left. And then immediately hard right. Oh no, well, keep going forward and left a little bit.
Can I? Oh, okay.
Yeah, keep pushing it. Oh, we might have Austin Powers there. Ooh. Okay. Okay, back it up.
Backing up. Oh.
Forward
I can't back up any further.
Yeah. Forward and a smidge left. And then a smidge right. Okay, keep going forward. And then right. Like forward and right. And then immediately forward and left. Keep going. Then forward. There we go.
Nice.
Only took us half an hour.
Oh my god. Ooh.
We got there in the end. The music in the car fucking sucks though, because I just have that ooh, because I'm a sad sack. It's stuck in my head now.
Yeah. Oh my god, this poor kid's gonna be traumatized.
Okay, we are now in the subway. Yep.
Right. Oh, she was in.
And the steering wheel is now a clock.
Yes, I picked it.
I love it. And again.
Yum.
Then yep, forward.
The ongoing delay on platform 3 to downtown is sponsored by Ape Cola. Ape Cola. Don't go bananas while you wait.
Wait, slowly right. Slowly right. Okay, but wait, slowly, slow. Slowly forward. Stop. Ooh, can you back it up and like left a little bit?
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Backing up.
I forward and left a little bit.
I backed up the wrong way. Oh no! What is this? Ah!
Oh, it's hints to the area we're in. Okay. Okay. Back and right, I guess. It's just there's a glowing bike here that I kind of want to get my hands on.
Sure. Oh.
Cool. Forward and right. That'll do. No, oh, can I reach it? Why is it glowing but I can't do anything? That's so weird.
Oh.
Okay. Back and left. Ooh. Okay, forward and left.
Oh,
Oh.
I forwarded too hard.
Okay. Back. Okay. And then, okay. Forward and left. But like slow. Slow forward, slow left, slow. Okay, look. Okay. And then right. Forward and right. But like, oh. You might just go like a smidge back and then forward and right.
Okay. Am I stuck on something?
Yeah, you're stuck on the bike racks. Okay. And now you want to go forward and right. That's it. Nice and slow. Keep going. Okay. Well, I think this bike is just taking the piss because I'm... Oh! No! Fuck. Oh, there it is. Okay. Why the fuck do I have a bicycle pedal? Okay, we'll go forward.
Oh.
Can I have one of the coins? Yeah, go forward. What the fuck? I have a tape in my mouth.
Okay. Let's see. Ow.
Thank you.
Ow.
Could you pass me one of the coins in the front?
There you go.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Apparently I didn't want that. Alright, fine.
There you go.
Do I not need to... Did that go in? Why am I buying a train ticket? We're in a car. Forward and right.
Forward and right.
That was more forward than right.
My bad.
Right. Oh shit, do we need to buy a ticket? I think we do need to buy a ticket. Fuck. Okay. Okay, yes, yeah, so we need to go backwards again. Fuck.
Oh.
Okay, tickets are forward and left.
Forward.
And then left a little bit more.
Oh.
Oh. They're like hard left.
Okay, I see him.
Okay. Back it up.
Oops.
Yep. Okay, well, close. You backed into them. That's
so bad at backing up.
We're closer than we were to begin with. Okay, fucking hard right. Keep going hard right. Keep going hard right.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, I got stuck. Alright, I'm just gonna
back it up just a little bit.
Smidge.
Just a bit. That'll do. Hard right.
Oh no.
Okay, back it up. Okay, hard right. Yeah. Okay. And forward a smidge. Shit, was the window not open when I was trying to put my coins in the machine? No, it was, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Well, it's open now. Okay. Ticket. Fuck. Ticket. No. Okay, I got a ticket.
Ticket.
Okay,
here,
forward and right. Okay, and then left, hard left. Oh, so close. Okay. Back it up.
Banging up.
And then forward, right, and then left.
Right?
Yeah, so like right and then left, so that you're going right a little bit straight and up.
I gotcha. Oh.
Oh. Nope.
Oh, did I hit something?
I don't know. Did you?
Tape! Give me your tape!
I mean, considering we're staring at the ceiling, I think we hit something.
Whoa, we're staring at this. Oh. I didn't even realize. Okay.
Oh, God. Okay. Forward and right. Thank you. Okay, and now, back it up.
Okay.
Keep going. Okay. Keep going. And then forward and right, but like only a little bit right. Yeah, keep going. Okay, and then back it up again. But as you're backing it up, turn the steering wheel like left as you're backing it up. Only a smidge though. Yeah, keep going. Okay, and now forward and left a little. Well, in fact, no. Just forward a little bit. A little bit more. Gotcha. Okay, forward and a smidge left. Okay, forward.
Oh, I can't. So give me switch.
Oh, we got a switch? Okay. Okay.
Okay. Oh. Alright, yeah. Keep going. There's a person. Oh, they walked into the car! Okay, we're gonna back up a little bit. And turn right a little. Okay, straight ahead, and then we're gonna...
That was the same person I hit twice?
Turn left. No, it was a different person.
Well, that's a twofer.
Alright, left again.
Yeah.
Straight. And right.
Yeah.
Like right more. More.
Yeah.
More. Okay, straight. Okay, left.
Yeah.
Oh. More left. More.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, straight. A little right. Now right.
Yeah.
We're going through the queue, apparently. Okay, straight. Shot on B phone. I left.
For free?
Left. For free?
For
Okay,
free?
Alright, go right.
Passenger safety announcement. Please always have your tickets.
Straight. A little more right.
Yeah.
Straight.
Damn bug just bit me.
Good.
I just realised we're going on the lines sticks. Everything in this has been mentioning hell.
Oh no. We're just gonna keep going down. Hi, Fate. Welcome.
No, your cat is...
Wait.
No, your cat is not a hacking chonker. It's going to die.
Oh, heckin' chonker. Oh no. Diabetes cat.
Oh, God, what the fuck? Ow.
Oh.
I'm stuck on something. And you have a tape in your mouth.
Alright. Go left.
Okay.
There you go.
Well,
Go left a bit. There you go. Okay, we need a hard right.
Today's escalator
Yeah.
descent
Yeah.
brought to you by Peaceful
Straight.
App. Peaceful App. Why walk when you can glide? Peaceful App may cost you no
Oh,
premium.
Glide.
here we go. There you go.
Alright, straight and right. Oh.
Oh, it's time for us to swap. Fucking nailed that section.
Nice!
All right, straight and like 45-degree right, I guess. Yep. Okay, left. Oh, you are fucking annihilating everybody. Jesus wept. Yeah, left. That's a wall. That's a wall. That's a.
That's a wall.
I got knocked out of my seat.
I got you. There you go.
Okay, back in my seat. Okay, yeah, forward. That'll do it. And then right. Okay, and now forward. Oh, we're gonna have to dodge trains.
Oh no.
Right. Never mind.
Oh. Okay. Well, shit.
Okay, back. Never mind.
This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare.
Okay.
This is the worst.
Right.
Where are we? What am I doing?
Okay, we're back. Okay, so I'm gonna go forward and then right onto the tracks.
All right.
And then right. Yeah, that'll do. That. No.
Ooh.
Okay, forward. Left. Stop. Oh fuck! I've fallen out my seat. There's another train coming.
We're fucked.
Look, we're so fucked. We are so fucked.
I can't get you in your seat. Wait, there we go.
Okay, back it up.
I lost the shifter.
Oh shit. Here it is.
Okay.
Matt, you are talking to the wrong person. Wait, stop. And then you want to go forward and right. Mate, I'm not missing out on anything to do with the World Cup, considering football can absolutely suck my ass. Oh, that'll do. I've fallen out my seat again.
Oh.
I really should have had a seatbelt on. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Oh my god. Tape.
Okay, back it up.
Tape.
Oh, tape. There's one by your feet.
Is there? I can't see it.
Yeah.
That's not it.
That's a bike pedal. There you go.
Excellent. Oh. Okay.
Okay. Back up. Yep, and then you want to be going forward and left. Like hard left.
Oh.
Okay, back it up. I hope the procedure wasn't too serious, Faye. Okay. Hard left. The hardest left you've ever left in your entire life. That's the good shit. Okay.
Bernie
Okay, forward.
Sanders left. Sorry, that
Okay,
was a political joke. Okay.
Ooh, can you back it up a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. And now I'm gonna need to take a really really slow forward and right. It's just a pinch of the right. Oh, and the ramp is entirely fucking broken now. Okay, back it up.
Alrighty then.
Back it all the way up. Out of curiosity, just go forward. Just fucking full speed ahead.
Oh.
Yep, that's fucked. Out, and I'm in the floor. Okay.
1 sec. I need
right.
Oh, you had a procedure. Oh, I saw you post about that on Twitter, Faye. I hope you're doing okay. I missed it. I was driving badly.
Back it all the way up.
All right. Oh, I lost the shifter again.
Oh, it's here. It's right in my lap. There you go.
Pedal? Oh.
I think the bike pedal is for a puzzle here, but I think we fucked it.
Oh. Oh, well.
Yeah, if we back all the way up, and then okay, full speed ahead, but kind of with just a touch of left.
Oh.
Okay, that
seem to have
didn't
hit
work.
a wall.
Interesting. Okay, back it up.
Hit some boxes.
And then we need to go forward and can you go right? Okay, back it up. And then forward and hard right. Up. I seem to be swallowing a tape again. Keep going forward, keep going forward, keep going forward. Stop, 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 stop. There you go. Can you get us tape? Thank you.
Yep.
And then hard right.
Oh.
Okay, back it up.
I hear water. I don't like that I can hear water. That makes me a little anxious.
And then forward and hard right.
Oh.
Back it up. Okay, forward. Just go forward now, slowly. And then left. Yeah, slowly, slowly, slowly. Okay, stop, 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 stop.
Turn off these stupid windshield wipers.
There should be a button on the left-hand side, I think. Okay, so I think we have to go forward and left. So if you can do a hard left, but like slowly forward.
Okay.
Okay, stop going forward, stop going forward, back, 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 back. Okay, and then stop. And then hard left and slowly forward again. Okay, stop. Right. Just a little bit, about 10 degrees or so. Yep. A little bit more. Okay, now just was that even a reason to fucking come in here?
Oh no!
I thought there was, but I seem to have been mistaken.
Oh no. That's alright.
All right. Full speed backwards.
Full speed backwards. Aye, Captain.
Full speed backwards.
Meow.
Yep. Okay. Right. Keep going back a little bit. Stop. And then hard right. Stop. And then back.
Oh, we need to be over there by those things, huh?
Yeah. Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Oh, I've seen where the puzzle solution is. Okay, forward slowly. Stop. Or is that not the puzzle solution? Shit. Where the fuck is the puzzle solution? Okay.
Hi, Wham
Yeah, forward and forward slowly.
Oh.
That's backwards.
Oops.
Can I even access this? Okay, stop. Let's have a look.
We need to get closer, maybe.
Yeah, we have to get closer. So just inch it forwards and left, just slowly. That's backwards.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, forwards and right. Okay.
Oh. Too much
Okay,
right.
backwards. Oh, there it is. Circle, square, X, triangle. Okay.
Oh, I was in neutral.
Okay, wait. Stop. Forward and left. Okay, stop. Okay, now slowly forwards. Slowly. Keep going. A little bit more. Okay, stop. I'm back.
Oh no.
Okay, slowly. Circle. Forward. A little bit more. Okay. Back a little bit.
Oh, too much. Oh, did you got it?
There we go. Yeah, got it.
Oh.
Okay. Forward with a touch to the left. And now to the right. A little more to the right. Ah, fuck it, whatever we got in. Forwards! And then to the right.
Oh. It's a
Keep going,
crazy
keep going,
ride.
keep going, keep going. Holy shit. Holy shit. We're out.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Caution poo. Oh no. Why does it say caution
Okay.
poo?
Where the fuck do we go now?
No.
Do I have to turn that? Okay,
We gotta get over
back
there.
it up. Yeah, I think we have to go to the right.
I'm not short, Muda. You're
Okay,
short.
you need to go forwards and right. Oh, I've just seen that caution poo. I see what you mean now.
Oh.
Oof. Hold on, I got a tape in my mouth again. Thank you.
There we go.
Okay, forward slowly. Slowly. Okay, back it up. Yeah. And then I need to go forwards and right a little bit. Just a little bit. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh.
Okay. Wait. And then... Oh, I can get it. I can get it.
Nice. Oh.
I don't know what
Oh.
that's done.
The water's coming out. We're going up.
Okay, can you drive still?
Oh, I can.
Apparently so. Forward and then left. Okay, slow. Left. Okay,
I think we're trying to get to
just
there.
keep going forward for now.
Okay.
Okay, and now I need to turn backwards and right.
Backwards?
Cheers, James. Yeah, backwards and right. Stop. And now forwards and left, but like real slow. That's right. Yeah, like barrel right slow. And then nearly stop. Fuck. Well. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it worked. Forward and to the right. A little bit to the left. Here we go. Oh, fucking hell.
Oh. This is not a game for
Yeah,
people
full
with
speed
motion
ahead.
sickness.
Oh, God. Okay.
Oh, why am I in reverse?
No, forward.
It just
No,
like ran...
two.
Oh.
Ooh, you missed both of them. That's all right. Okay.
Oh, wait, what I missed?
Well, you almost, it was almost a hate crime.
Oh, shit.
Forward and left.
Oh, shit.
Okay, back it up.
Yeah, this seemed to be stuck.
Just don't back it up too much. Ooh! Sorry, sir. Forward and left. Forward and right. Forward and right.
Oh,
Right.
am I
Oh,
stuck?
time to switch.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Oh. I've started out
Just
like
let me
this.
just borrow that. Okay.
Alright, to the right. Straight,
Yeah.
and then... I think we're going back on the tracks again or something.
Okay.
A little straight and left. Oh.
Immediate flip.
Well,
How did it immediately flips car?
there you go. Straight.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, back up, and we need
Yeah.
There you go. Oh. That's good. Oh, good. Hard left.
Yeah. There we go.
Straight.
Why am I looking at the fucking ceiling?
Go a little right and straight. Oh my god. Oh. Oh.
The fuck did I hit?
I don't know, but I'm up here now. And now I'm outside the car.
Did you ascend? Well, we're going up in reverse.
Oh, I've been left behind.
I don't know what's happening.
Oh, mission complete.
We got a pass. I don't know whether that counts. I don't know. Okay.
That was crazy. (9 p.m. bedtime. Good night, Speed. Thank you for hanging out.
We got a pass, but I don't know what that means. Is that worse than a C? Is that better than a C?
I'm not sure. Probably.
All I know is
probably worse. Like, well, you passed.
Not for me, sadly, James. I'm in work tomorrow, mate.
Mima, tenta penta minha mãe. Luma, bim bim quam, hoje pá.
This granny's crazy.
So close.
Well, we somehow ended up in the fucking middle. Okay, this is unique. See you later, Speed. Take care. Where are we going?
I guess straight. I need to take a quick break though, because I gotta pee.
Yeah, go for it.
Be right back.
We will pause right then.
I gotta run ads anyway. That works.
Yeah, go for it. This is a damn fun game. This is crazy. I saw some friends play it, and I didn't play it with them, but I had a giggle at their expense while they were trying to play it. And I wasn't quite sure how to. When I messaged Chi to do a collab, I wasn't quite sure what game to play. So I was like, do you know what? Backseat Drivers just floating around. I saw some friends having a good time on that. Fuck it, let's play that and see how that goes. And so far, pretty good pick. So far, pretty decent. I was going to try and twist Chi's arm into playing some horror games, but that was a no-go. That was not happening. I tried. I'm so excited. I got the whole weekend off for the first time in 8 weeks. Damn. I only work part-time at the moment. I got laid off 12 months ago. But I have a new job as of like 2 months ago, which is working at like a local supermarket thing, like a little corner shop kind of thing, I guess. But it's only like part-time hours, so I'm only working 16 hours a week, I think. The only problem being is that tomorrow they open at 6:30 in the morning, so I have to be in work. Sorry, they open at 7, so I have to be in work at 6:30 in the morning. Which I'm gonna be honest, I don't fucking love. Making people go to work at 6:30 in the morning when they have to be sociable and ask people if they want a fucking receipt with that makes my stomach turn. And I hate it. Because my other half, Emma, she works as a concept artist, and she only gets Saturdays and Sundays off. So working on a Saturday, when all she ever gets is Saturdays and Sundays, fucking sucks. However, the place that I'm working for has been super kind, that they have given me Wednesday, Fridays, and Sundays off. So I can do my streams. And it's enough hours that I can work, earn some money to help pay the bills. But I also get to sit here and work on YouTube stuff and everything like that. So it swings and roundabouts. Necessary evil, I suppose. Face-to-face customer service is me socializing. I gave up on, like, I thought I'd got out of face-to-face customer service because I fucking hate face-to-face customer service because all customers are wankers. And I thought I'd gotten out of face-to-face customer service because I had gone from that to working in a call center, which was even worse. Then I'd gone out to working in IT and being like an analyst and stuff like that, and then working in payroll. And then I work in video games. Normally, I work as a community manager, social media manager for a bunch of games, such as like Hunt Showdown, Nitrogen Omega, and a bunch of other things. Anyway, I digress. Fortunately, got laid off because the games industry is kind of like fucking all over the shop right now. It's kind of shitty. So now I work in a shop, and I absolutely hate it. I used to work in a cool shop. I used to work in a shop called Game Station, which was like the edgy video game store in the UK. And then I was a barman for like 6 years. I went behind a bar all across the UK, all across Australia, all across New Zealand. That was good fun. And then I came back and I sold skate shoes. That was kind of fun. But yeah, now I work in a local convenience store, and it sucks because I just don't enjoy it. It's just so fucking boring. Like, if the work was hard, I wouldn't mind it so much, but it's literally like open box, put on shelf, see someone stood at the till, go and take their money.
I'm back.
Hello, welcome back. I used to take the delivery in Macca's years ago. Trouble is, it was 5 a.m. hours and an hour's walk away, and I didn't drive back then. Fuck that. Nah, fuck that.
Oh, are we talking about past jobs?
Past jobs and stuff, yeah.
Oh, I've had so many.
Oh, I've had some crazy jobs, some good jobs, and some jobs that I hate. And the job that I have at the moment is unfortunately one that I hate.
I was a software engineer for 5 years, and then I got laid off, and I haven't been able to get another job since in the software industry.
Yeah, that's rough. Community manager and social media manager, I got laid off, unfortunately. And it's just been rough. I was supposed to find out about a new job today, but sadly it's going to be Monday now, which is a shame. I might be weird, but I prefer the mornings, so I have my nights off to relax. I used to be like a night owl, and I still kind of am in some respects. But I've suddenly found that getting up like bright and early and just smashing out shit first thing feels so fucking good. Because when you're like bright and early, you take the time to make yourself like a good breakfast. You just chill the fuck out. Everybody's quiet. It's good. Yeah. And then like when it comes to like my YouTube stuff, I'm at my computer like it's a 9 to 5. So I'm at my computer. I've had like a really good breakfast. I'm working till like midday. It's fucking beautiful. I love the mornings, but
yeah, that's what I do.
No one's around until the evening. It's just nice. I like the mornings. The mornings are good these days.
I'm actually my current job. I'm furloughed for the summer. So I don't have to work this summer, and I just collect unemployment. And then I go back the end of July, but it doesn't pay great. It's like data entry stuff, basically.
That's not too bad, though. At least I think that's the problem that I have with this new job, is the fact that it's just fucking boring.
Oh my god, yeah, my job's so boring. I like almost fall asleep every day.
Yeah, it's just that's why I like creating stuff. It's because I like it. It's entertaining. I find it motivates me and drives me.
Keeps your brain engaged.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas right now I spend most of my time just stocking shelves, and it makes you want to slam my head onto something hard.
Right.
Like I hate it. It's awful. And everybody, I found that like a lot of, I used to, whenever I go to work, one of the main things I love about going to work is being social, because I just love chatting to people. But like when you go to work these days, it's like, don't stop chatting, do work. And it's like, oh, kiss my ass.
Yeah. People, if you can talk and work at the same time, what does it matter, right?
Yeah. Although I have noticed, like, because I'm 35 years old now, going into these jobs that are like minimum wage, I'm like, I can't be fucked with that. I got a manager who's like 10 years younger than me, telling me that I have to wait to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, no, motherfucker, I'm going to the bathroom.
Oh my god, I feel that's so hard. I turned 39 this year, so I totally understand exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it's crazy, because like all this sort of stuff of like, do you know you're a minute late? And it's like, do you know you can kiss my ass? Like, oh no, I'm a minute late. You pay me minimum wage. Shut up.
Right.
Like, it's fucking batshit. I had, what was the one that you told me the other day? Oh, I was like, oh, can someone just quickly put something, like the shop was empty. Oh, can you quickly put a coffee through for me so I can grab a coffee, because I can't buy it myself. I have to have somebody else until to put it through. Oh, can you not wait till your break? Oh, what do you mean can I not wait till my break? Can you not put me a coffee through? It takes 30 seconds.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Right.
Why are you making a deal out of this, you power tripping little prick?
Oh, I hate that. Micromanaging managers are the worst.
Yeah, it's fucking sucks. I hate minimum wage jobs. They're the worst.
Yeah.
You turned 58 this year, James. Respect, man. Respect.
Oh, yeah.
Right, where are we going?
Well,
Oh, you've got a tape in your mouth.
I do. Help.
Let me just help you out with that real quick.
Oh, thank you. All right. We are going straight, it looks like.
Straight.
Yeah. All right, a little right now. Yep, straight.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it.
Right.
Ooh.
A little more right. There you go. Straight.
Yeah. It's alright, the wall turned for me.
It's really dark, so it's hard to see. Okay, a little right.
Oh, hold on. I can help you out.
Hey, a little right.
Ooh.
Okay, there's something over here we gotta get next to it. Stop. Why does that look like The Fifth Element?
Oh, it's a fucking great film.
That's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, absolutely amazing film.
Okay, there's like wavy things on there. It looks like The Fifth Element stones. It's so funny. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
let me scooch over and. Right. Okay. Oh, I don't think I can reach it.
My dream job is I want to open a like a cafe that hosts professional DMs, and basically the idea is, fuck it, I've gone too far. Oh.
Oh.
The idea is that you hire a DM for the day,
Oh,
and you just sit and play D&D all day.
that's a great idea. A D&D cafe.
Oh my god, I'm fucking useless.
It's okay. We are now further
so, like,
away.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Okay, almost. Oh. There you go. Okay. Oh. Back up a
fuck
little
it.
bit.
Yeah.
A little more. A little
Back
more.
that ass
Okay,
up.
Stop. All right. Can I interact with this? Hello.
That could work if you paid. Well, no, you'd pay the DM to rent the DM.
Here, take this. No. Okay. Doesn't want it. Here, take this. No, it doesn't want it. Okay. I guess I can't do anything.
Oh, we have to use the Necronomicon.
Oh, right.
Apparently there should be some skulls. Here you go. Here's the Necronomicon. Here you go.
No.
Fuck's sake. Ugh.
Oh. I can't read it. I don't know what it says. It's gibberish. Okay. It was written by a toddler. Okay, I'm not sure what we're supposed to do. That didn't tell me anything. Maybe let's look at the other ones? Go straight.
Yep. Straight?
Yeah. What's that? Oh. Okay, maybe we need to try this thing on the left. Alright, so back up.
Yeah.
Back up. Okay, stop. And turn your left. Straight. More straight. Or more right, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I said straight and I meant right. My bad. Words are hard. Oh, so close. More right. Oh,
Fuck.
back up a little more. There you go. Alright, now a little left. And straight. There you go.
Oh, did it have a symbol? It did. It had the wavy lines, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh, do we have to push these in a certain order, maybe? Oh.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, so that was
Can you
one.
see where? Can you see two?
That stone back there is facing away from us, and then
Well, shit.
Back up real quick.
Hold on, I gotta find a tape. Okay, back up.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I didn't realize there was a cliff right there.
What did we hit?
Let me go forward. Honestly, you could probably just turn all the way around. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, stop.
Yeah. Is that number 2 to the right?
Okay, so the one that we just went around was 2, and that one up there is 3. Okay, so now go back over to the gold buttons. I think I know which one, what order they are.
Okay. Oh, missed it. Oof.
Oh, there's a cliff right there. It's hard to see in here. Okay.
Oh, my steering wheel fell off. That's why I can't turn. Hang on.
Oh.
my steering wheel back there?
I don't see it.
Fair enough. Yoink. Okay. Where are we going?
Oh,
Oh, found it.
close enough. Alright, forward.
Oh, there's my steering wheel. Hold on. It was in my seat all along.
Okay. Alright, and when we back up, we want to go... Yeah. Okay, as you back up, go right a little. Oh. Oh, wrong right. When I actually have to think about turning my steering wheel to turn around, like to back up, I always mess it up. But if I'm like actually driving, I know exactly what to do. It's really weird.
Yeah. Okay.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep backing up.
Keep going back?
Yeah. Okay, stop. Oh, there we go. The seat just went all the way backwards. It's so funny.
What the
Sorry,
fuck?
Hard left. Is it letting you drive or no?
I can't reach the pedals anymore.
Oh, I can
there
push
we
you
go.
up. There you go. Okay. So we're gonna hard left. Alright, straighten out.
Yeah.
Okay, slow. A little right. Oh, a little more
Found it.
right. Back up. Okay, stop. And then a little right. Yep, yep. Okay, straighten out. Okay, stop.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was... Okay, this... It was... Oh no. I can't reach it now? What the heck?
Oh no.
Oh, I already pushed it maybe is why. Okay, and then it was this one. And then this one.
Yep, that's the one.
Alright.
Full speed ahead.
Yeah, keep out danger. We're going anyway. Oh, a little right.
Oh, gotta change.
Oh, okay.
We gotta change.
Time to switch.
Boosh.
There's back.
Okay, forward and right. Little bit left, little bit left, little bit left, little bit left. Yeah, forward, 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 forward. No, right. Oh.
Oh.
Okay, hard left, hard left, hard left.
Oh, I lost my shifter.
You got it?
Yeah. Okay, which way now?
Hard left. Yep. Left again. Okay, right. Left a little bit, left a little bit.
Why does it sound like lava?
No reason. It's just the thermostat, don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Slow right, slow right, slow right, slow right. Left, 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 left. Straighten up, straighten up, straighten up. Slow left, slow left, slow left, slow left. Oh, you went right.
Oh, my bad. Okay, well.
Okay, forward.
I'm scared.
Okay. Slow right, slow right, slow right, slow right, slow right. Slow left, slow left, slow left. Left, 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 left. Ooh. Slow it down, slow it down. Okay, straight. Right. Right. Yeah, keep going. Stop. Left a little bit, just a smidge, just a touch left. Okay, forward. Smidge right, smidge right, smidge right. Oh! I got a tape in my mouth.
Oh. Oh.
Thank you.
Oh.
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 Okay. Yep, forward. To the right, to the right. To the left, just a little bit.
We're going
Okay,
into
keep
the
it forward,
depths
keep
of
it forward.
hell.
Okay, stop, 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 stop,
Oh.
stop, stop.
Oh.
Well, no. I'm in the footwell.
Oh, hello.
Thank you. Okay, reverse.
I cannot. Hello, car? It's not letting me move. I can turn, but I can't back up. Am I stuck on something?
Oh, because your pedals come off.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Okay. That would explain everything.
Okay. Forward and to the right ever so slightly. Okay, forward. Slowly, slowly. A little bit to the left. Okay, forward. Slowly, 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 slowly. Stop, 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 stop.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh! Oh, shit!
Will.
That was
Okay,
crazy.
forward. Slowly, slowly, slowly. A little bit to the left. Okay, stop, stop. Got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. Left, 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 left,
Oh!
left.
Oh, I
okay.
stopped in the wrong spot. Okay.
Yeah, it is like the movie Up, yeah. Okay. Forward with a smidge to the left.
Oh.
That's backwards.
Car was in reverse. Okay. Sometimes it just starts you in reverse. It's so funny.
Okay. Stop. Forward, gun it, gun it, gun it, gun it, gun it. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Oh, I think we're going too slow. I was going too slow. That was my bad. Okay.
Okay, let's go. Forward and a little bit to the left.
We're in neutral. Okay.
Okay. Stop. Okay, wait, 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 wait. Gun it, gun it, gun it, gun it, gun it. A little bit to the left, little bit to the left, little bit to the left. Okay, stop. Ooh. Okay.
Oh, that's so close.
You're going to gun it in a second, but when you do, I'm going to need you to turn right at the same time. Not a hard right, like a medium right. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Go now. No, 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 no. Okay, stop, 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 stop. Ooh, okay. Forward with a little bit to the left. Okay, forward. Oh, looks like it's time to swap.
It's stalled. Okay. Oh. Hello? Game? What's happening? It's not letting me switch. It's broken. I'm like clicking the keys and it keeps focusing on the steering wheel. What the heck?
Comes if you lean.
I just take
Oh,
that off.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, that works. Wait.
Take that off. Fuck the steering wheel. Steering wheel too big, can't reach keys, right? Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, straight. We're going up a hill a little bit.
Yeah,
Going slightly right.
yeah.
Oh, keep going.
Yeah,
Straighten out, straighten out. A little left. Okay, straight.
yeah,
A little right. Okay, straight.
yeah,
A little left.
yeah.
Oh, two left. Stop! Oh, stop!
Holy fuck!
Alright, when we go straight, we're gonna also go slightly left.
Oh,
Okay.
I kind of guessed it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, stop. Okay, go. Okay.
We made it.
Okay, I can't see where we need to go.
I don't know why I screamed in real life.
Cause that was scary as fuck. That's why. I can't tell where to go. It looks like everything's kind of blocked.
Left?
There's a mouth. Oh, I see. We need to turn right. I see now. This window's dirty. I can't see out of it.
Okay, where are we going?
Hold on. Let me, can I take this off? I can't. I wish I could roll this window down. Alright,
Oh, hold on. Use this.
Oh, you do have another one.
Oh. It's the one off my window.
Oh, I couldn't take it off the other back one. It wouldn't let me.
Oh, if you right click, it should pop it off, yeah.
Oh, right click. There, now I can see. Okay, yeah, go right.
Yeah.
Okay, straighten out a bit and go straight.
Oh,
Oh,
got a swap.
switch already?
was quick.
Oh, okay, that was quick!
Yeah, I guess forward then? Yeah.
Oh.
And then left. And then right.
Oh, I seem to be stuck. Oh, I lost a pedal again, that's why.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. And then right. Forward and right.
There's a pedal. Okay. Oh, what the hell? Oh, when I
forward and
crashed-
right, forward and right, forward and right.
When
Yeah.
I crashed, it went in reverse.
You might want to back it up again, and then forward and right. Oh,
What the hell
fuck?
was that?
Excuse me.
Did Granny just let one loose?
Forward but slow left, forward but slow left. Oh, I got a fucking... Granny just slowly turned around just then. Okay, forward. Yeah. Can you put me straighten out now?
Oh.
Yeah, we good. Ooh. Yeah, got it. Forward.
Oh, why am I going in reverse? Okay.
Stop. Okay, forward and to the right slowly. Okay, stop. Back it up a smidge. Ooh. Back it up a smidge. And again. Okay. Now you need to go forward to the right very slowly.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep going. Okay. Back it up. Okay, you can back it. Yeah, back it up. And then I'm going to need to do the same again. Back it forward and right, but very slowly. Okay, and then can you like back it up to the left? Yeah, that's the good stuff. Yeah, keep going. Okay, and then I need to go forward and right again. Keep going. Really slowly. Gotcha. Wait, back it up. Ooh. Okay.
Good.
Forward and left.
Forward.
But like
and
only
left.
a little bit. Only a little bit to the left. Quickly. Quick. Got it. Fast. Fuck.
Oh, was it timed? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Left. Stop. Okay. I'm gonna, as soon as it comes up, we're gonna have to gun it forwards. You ready?
Okay.
I'll say when. No. Go forwards. Going forwards. A little bit to the right. Good. Straighten up. Left. Keep going. A little bit to the right.
Ooh.
We made it. Stop. Ooh.
This is terrifying. What's happening? Oh my god.
Okay. The fuck?
Oh, it rolled
Hold
up.
Yeah. Right, back it up. A smidge. Just a smidgen. And then hit a hard right if you would.
Bats hang out of the ogre statue's nose like a booger. I don't know if you can see it, but they have really
No, I can't, sadly.
they have really derpy eyes too. It's so funny.
Okay, forward, but give me a left-hand turn. About 45 degrees to the left. Keep going forward and left. Yeah, forward and left. Ooh, what's that? That is something, I don't know. Forward and left.
Oh, I stalled.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna take the steering wheel off every time because it won't let me click the keys.
Okay. Oh.
Left. Little right. Straighten out. Oh, there's a turn.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going down.
Oh, fucking hell, so we are. Oh.
Okay. Oh no, stop. Tape.
I've stopped.
Tape in mouth.
Oh. Oh, yeah. You have to move over.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh no! We'll have to start
What's
over,
up?
I think. The bridge is under lava now. Alright, this is gonna be timed. Alright,
Okay.
go.
Why can't I go forwards? I can't. I'm missing my pedal.
Oh. Did you find it?
No, I've had to just press the fucking...
A little right, a little right, a little right, a little right.
Yeah, I'm having to press the... No, fuck off.
Left.
Yeah. I don't have
Find
a pedal.
the pedal. Oh, it's over on the
I've-
passenger side.
It's stalled.
Oh,
Forward and left.
wait. There's no pedal. Can't. The pedal is on the floor on the passenger side of the car.
If you accelerate and then brake. Oh wait, if you press D, you should be able to lean over.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay, full speed ahead. Just gun it. A little bit to the right, little bit to the right. A little bit to the left. Ah, it's stalled. Got to swap.
I can't.
Lean.
Lean. What? It's still. There we go. Alright, little left. Oh,
Ah.
start it over.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Little right.
We gotta do a hot switch halfway in between.
Yeah. A little more right. Little left.
Yeah. I got a switch. All you. Little left. Yeah, forward. A little bit to the right. Go.
Feels like we're barely moving. Hey!
Yes!
We passed it! Oh my god. This game
Holy
very much
shit.
has RV There Yet vibes.
I love RV There Yet.
Yeah, my friends, some of my other friends and I played through both the maps and got all the way to the end and it was insane.
We only got, me and a friend played, I want to say like halfway through the first map, me and a couple of friends.
I baka pa så close fa. Ang papaggosta paka. Skip the kraka chapos pazuzo. Singa patayamata ebo.
Oh.
Going down.
Oh no, we're going down.
How can we be going down?
Level 663. Level 664. Level 665. Level 666.
Oh no.
You have arrived. Have a heckin' great day.
Have a heckin' great day.
So we now in hell.
I believe so. I can't see a damn thing. Oh.
Welcome to...
The Daredevil Derby? Oh shit. We're
Okay.
Alright, well. It's full speed ahead, I guess, right?
Yep, full speed ahead, I suppose.
Hell comes you. It's a fun.
Oh, it's so bright. Oh my god, gun it, gun it, gun it, gun it, gun it, gun it, gun it. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Oof.
We're not gonna make it. Well, oh.
I think... Oh.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
What the fuck?
Just keep going. You're doing great.
Yeah.
Wait, stop! There's fire! Okay, go. Got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. Oh, we were too late. Oh, we were so close.
Oh my
we
god.
were right on the end.
We got turned into skeletons.
Oh. Alright. A little right. Just so we can be in the middle a little more. Okay, stop. Oh. We did turn into skeletons. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, straight ahead.
Yeah.
A little right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And stop, 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 stop. A little closer, slowly.
Yeah.
Slowly, 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 little more. Little more. Okay, stop. Oh, or
Okay,
go
not got
for
it now? Oh,
go for
okay.
it! Oh, yeah, that was good, that was good. Oh,
Okay,
that was close.
I saw the
Oh.
fire died, so I was just like, ah,
Go.
okay.
Yeah.
That's what.
Oh. Oh, shit.
Okay, forward. Full speed ahead. Oh, we might not make this. No! We made it. Keep going. To the right, to the right, to the right. To the left, to the left, to the left. Oh, shit.
I've made mistakes.
Did we... I mean, technically we made it. Okay, okay. Forward, 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 forward. Let's go.
Oh my god.
To the left a little bit. Just keep going, just gun it, just keep going.
Oh, it's in reverse.
It's in reverse.
No, it's in reverse. I'm confused.
Oh,
I'm upside down.
my
Oh,
god.
okay. Well,
I don't know where we are.
I don't either. Okay, good. It restarted.
Right a little bit, just a little bit. Right, right, just a little bit. Left a little bit. Yeah, we're across. Gun it, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah. We've gone for a portal. Straight forward.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, keep going, keep going. Right a little bit. Just a smidge. No! Ooh, left a little bit, left a little bit. Ooh. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
It's in reverse again.
Oh, what the hell? Do I need to back up and get a running start, or?
Fuck it, just gun it and we'll see what happens. Oh, shit.
I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh my god.
Go, 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 go. Just tap the left Tap left just a little bit, just a little bit. Yep. Oh, shit. Well, this isn't good.
Why did it turn us so hard? That's crazy.
I have no idea. Right, gun it again.
All right.
Go. Made it.
Ah.
Still
Hopefully we
counts.
hit a checkpoint. Oh,
Okay,
good.
we made it. We made
At
it.
least we hit a
Okay.
checkpoint.
Just. Right. Forward and a little bit to the right. A little bit to the right. That'll do.
Ooh.
Oh, I got a tape in my mouth.
Oh. Nope.
Okay, I need to go right and like forward and a smidge to the right. Keep going. Left.
Oh.
Ooh.
It broke.
Don't actually know what happened there.
Crazy.
Forwards. Yeah, I have no idea. Oh, maybe there's a giant ball that rolls across every now and again.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, keep going forward. Go. Got it. Left. Only a little bit. Okay, hard left. Hard right. Oh, shit.
Oh.
That's right. Don't move. Okay, we can back up. And then forward and hard right. Oh, we're cooked. Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Somehow we
Forward.
survived.
Yeah, we did. Ooh. Left. Okay, I guess we're going up here now.
Oh.
Forward.
Oh.
No, we're not.
Oh, I got hit by the ball. Dang it, we were so close. Stupid ball.
Okay,
Oh,
forward.
reverse.
That's
Stupid car.
right. Left. Straight ahead. Ooh.
I ran into the fire.
Maybe straight ahead. Maybe straight ahead wasn't the best call.
It's alright.
Okay, forward. Keep going. To the right a little bit. To the left. To the right a little bit. To the left a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, left. Okay, we made a checkpoint. Okay. Oh, gotta switch.
Oh.
Time to switch.
Lean. Click. Okay. Oh. Yeah, right. Oh, there was another ball. Okay.
There was a second ball, it seems.
Yeah. It's a sandwich. Alright. A ball sandwich. Okay.
A ball witch.
Oh, I see. Okay, right. Keep going. Just keep going. YOLO.
Oh, yeah.
Stop. Okay, go. Go. Oh, no. The one behind us caught up. All right, maybe we do just have to keep going and hope for the best. Because, man, that's crazy. All right, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No, we'll follow this ball.
Yeah. So far, so good. This one I'm not so sure about. I turn right a little. Good.
Oh,
A little left.
yeah.
Straight.
Yep.
Oh!
Oh,
Keep going
why
straight.
are we screaming?
Keep going straight. Portal. Okay.
Oh. Wait, we switch?
We did.
Cool.
This is nuts.
This is fucking so weird.
Oh my gosh. I just had deja vu. That is so crazy.
Right.
Okay. Oh.
No, I wasn't looking.
Oh, I didn't go right enough. Okay. I was too busy being freaked out by the deja vu I just had.
Okay, full speed ahead.
A glitch in the matrix. Oh.
Little bit to the right, little bit to the right. Keep going ahead, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Oh.
Okay, well, apparently... Oh, the floor does drop.
Oh.
I thought it did.
Well.
Okay, forward. A little bit to the right. Yeah, keep going forward. A little bit to the left. Straight ahead, straight ahead. Touch to the right, touch to the right, touch to the right. Okay, hard left, hard left. Stop, 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 stop. Ooh, now hard left, hard left, hard left.
Oh, back.
Okay, back up a little bit. And now hard left. Cool. Keep going. Forward, quick, 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 quick.
I stalled. I stalled.
Ah, okay.
Oh, I have tape. Oh, let me,
Oh, thank you.
No, thank you.
We're waiting for an elevator to come down, I think.
Yeah,
there it goes.
yeah. Maybe stop. Okay, hard rate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
We good?
Yep. Keep going straight for now. Steady the course. Hey.
Oh, I see where we're going.
Okay, hard right.
Okay.
Oh, left. Oh no, it's turning. Okay, just wait. Wait. I don't know what just happened. Oh, we're dead.
I don't know what just happened.
I'm so confused. Okay, so it's like spinning. It's like a spinning wheel.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I couldn't see because of the seat. Oh, there you go. We're good. Turn.
Do we make it?
Go. Yep. Go.
Ooh.
Oh. I don't know how we got sideways.
Well.
Oh, that was crazy. Okay, we must have hit a checkpoint at least. That's good.
I think we did,
Straight,
yeah.
Straight. A little right.
Yep.
Oh, we hit checkpoint.
Like, yeah, that counts.
That counts.
Oh.
Okay, oh.
Here lies Sparky McRibs.
Apparently we need his lighter. So let's back up and choose a side.
Okay.
Alright. Oh, I think we needed the lighter.
Oh, did we?
I'm not sure, actually. It was all glowy, like you could take it.
Is there anywhere to go from here? Okay.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to go to the right there. Oh. Hold on, I'm gonna try to look. Okay, go forward.
Yeah.
Up, and then, oh, there you go. Now you should be able to back up. Crank the wheel to the left a little. There you go. Alright, so let's try to pull up next to the skelly. Take the lighter in case we need it.
Might need to wind your window down.
Oh, back up a little.
Yeah.
A little more. I think we're too far away.
Okay.
There you go. Perfect. Now pull forward and a little left. Oh, I almost had it. Back up a little.
Yep.
Just a smidgen, a little more. Almost there. Okay, got it.
Okay, I've got it.
All right. Oh yeah, everything changed now. Alright, so we're gonna go around here. And I guess straight.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Forward.
Ooh!
Oh, we made it. Okay, right. At a place where my wife put through my leg due to divorce. No, that's backwards.
No.
Right. Keep going. Right a little bit. Yeah, keep going. Left a little bit. Stop.
Oh no!
There, well,
It's too late. I was too late. I know. Stop. You paw print.
okay, forward. Okay, right. Stop. Forward.
Oh.
Well,
Oh, my bad.
takes a while to get going. Okay.
It does sometimes, yeah.
Nice, James. Right. Hard right.
Ah! Is there a way we can go around it? If I go more right?
Yeah, that was the hard right, yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. Oh, I got a tape in my mouth.
Ow.
Cool. Hard right. There we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I righted too close to the sun.
Okay, forward. Little right. Right. Yeah, keep going. Slowly. Right. Forward and right. Forward and left. Forward and right.
Oh.
Okay, you might need to. Oh, you might back up a little bit. Slowly.
Ooh.
Forward and right. Okay, we're good. Holy shit. Right. Stop.
I started, it took forever to stop. What the fuck? No, we're way back here. Oh.
Forward. Nope.
Oh. It reversed way too hard. Stupid car.
Okay, right.
Oh.
Yeah, that'll do. Right. Hard right. Yep. Left. Okay, hard, little right. Forward. Well, forward and right. Yep. Perfect. Right. A little bit more right. Yeah, perfect. Stop.
Oh.
Okay. Forward and right.
Oh. Can't.
Well, that kind of saved us. Back up. Stop. Okay, don't move.
Oh shit! I started.
Well,
I clicked as you
fuck.
said, "Don't move." That was my fault. I'm so sorry.
Okay. One more time.
Whew.
We got this. Forward and right. Okay, hard right.
Oh.
Yeah, that'll do. Keep going. Right. Okay, left. Right. Perfect. Keep going forward. And right. Stop. Okay. Creep it forward a little bit, just a little bit. A little bit more. Now, full go.
Oh!
Yes. Okay, that's fine. Forward and right. Hard right. Yeah, you go. Now left.
Oh, it's stopped.
Time to swap.
Oh my god, this is insane.
This is literally blind faith. Yeah, and then some.
Alright, a little right.
Yeah.
A little left. more, left
Yeah.
more, left more. Okay, straight. Straighten out a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, and stop. It's gonna move. Oh,
What the fuck?
I think we have to go to the left. Oh, maybe we don't. Okay. Straight, maybe, and right? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Left. Left, straight. Okay, more left.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tight squeeze! Oh!
Oof.
Okay.
Well.
It's a really narrow.
Okay. I got this.
Yeah, you do.
I think we're loading into a cannon.
Seems that way. Alright, keep going straight. Oh?
You need to use a lighter on the right-hand side.
Oh. Don't mind if I do. Oh. Well,
Window.
oh, the window.
Window. It's a bit warm in here.
Okay. Hey, we got an A.
You got
Let's
an
go.
A for that one.
Oh my gosh. 3
Hell yeah.
achievements.
Nice.
That was crazy.
Oh, and a bunch of extra shit.
Oh, dapat song and dance. Banga juma zuba paprika. Luba like Zaramba nasha was a Cory. Mama, he was Zuma around there.
I love the cutscenes in this game. They're great.
They're so good.
Hang Kiora sa Hag Miguelat, Kitsa Minima Stick, Japana Cotton. Meme.
Oh my god, we're in Arizona. Oh.
Oh. Well, we kind of landed. Perfect. I think that is where we're going to have to end it, unfortunately, though.
Yeah.
That was so much fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
We'll have to do it again and try to finish it, maybe.
And try and finish it? 100%. Yeah. That would be sick. Cool. Thank you so much for, like, one of the first collabs I've had in, like, a long time. That was so much fun.
That was a ton of fun. I had a blast.
Good. I'm glad. Hopefully we can do it again soon.
Yeah, that would be great.
Awesome. Anybody in my chat, if you haven't checked out Chi, please make sure to do so. And I think that's, yeah, pretty much it from me.
Yeah. Everybody go follow Twisty. Do it.
Yeah. Have you got anyone in mind to raid?
Let me see. Who's live right now?
Thanks, Wombat. Appreciate it.
Gee, we're playing this later. I think you and Red should play it, Wombat. I think that would be funny. Let's see. Who's live right now? Oh, we should raid Red because it's his birthday.
Yeah, awesome. Fire me the name of who we're raiding, and I will fire that. I will raid them as well.
All right, cool. I'll do that. Bam.
Thank you. Gotcha. Cool. Well, thank you so much again for the cut up. I will say goodbye here, and hopefully we'll chat soon and catch up.
Absolutely. Thanks, Twisty.
All right. Cheers, Chi.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, you guys, that was so much fun. Can you do more than 2 people? That would be cool. Alright, we're gonna go see Red. And then I'm gonna go make dinner, and then we're playing games with Red later. That'll be fun. Oh, shoot. There you go. If you're a subby, you can use the first rate call. If you're not a subby, you're going to use the Nemo Pops. We're going to go see Red. Thank all of you guys for hanging out. I appreciate you. Thank you to anyone from Twisty's stream who came and followed. I appreciate that too. I hope we get to do more games together. That was a great time. And I will talk to you soon. Up to 4 players? Nice. Maybe that's the next one you, me, and Red and Giga do. Oh, all right. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be live again in a few hours. Bye. Love you. Get the fuck out. Goodbye.